When you're taking a girl out on a first date, do you usually split the bill, or does she pay instead? But honestly, it's better not to let her pay to maintain that image as a guy. Now, what about splitting the bill? There are lots of opinions on this. Some think splitting the bill is totally fine, but others believe that paying is entirely the guy's responsibility. Actually, there's nothing wrong with either perspective. Both are okay in my opinion, as long as both of you feel comfortable and there are no regrets at the end. But let's face it, who pays for the meal really affects your pride in front of your crush. Especially since guys are naturally born with the instinct to provide and want to protect, pamper, and cover all their partner's needs. So, one of those needs is paying for the meal when out with your crush. There are plenty of guys who've been raised by their parents to always treat a girl when going out or on a date. It's about being responsible. You have to maintain your pride when asking a girl out, especially for the first time you meet. But our finances aren't always stable. What if she suggests going out when we're broke? Especially if we're still relying on pocket money from our parents and that's barely enough. Or maybe we're not really that into the girl. Do we really have to insist on treating her when we're not genuinely interested? So, before you start thinking negatively or getting paranoid, it's better to try and understand the girl's perspective too. Not all girls feel comfortable being treated by guys. Some girls prefer splitting the bill fairly. Especially nowadays, there are many smart and independent girls with strong characters. You might even end up having your meal paid for by her. On the other hand, there are still plenty of girls with the opposite perspective. They think it's rude or shows disinterest if a guy doesn't treat them on the first date. This brings us to the tricky topic of splitting the bill that's all over social media. Some think splitting the bill, like how it's done in Western cultures, is normal, but many also see splitting the bill as stingy. That's why in this video, I'll give you some etiquette tips you should understand to avoid being labeled as stingy or calculative on a first date. Especially for you guys supporting the split bill, pay close attention to this video. 1. Have a good discussion. Honestly, the basic etiquette for splitting the bill is simple. Just communicate clearly. So, before you eat, talk to her about how you'll handle the payment. If you want to treat her, be direct about it to avoid any awkward bill splitting drama at the cashier. If you intend to split the bill, communicate that too, but politely and honestly. If she looks confused or disagrees with splitting the bill, don't be embarrassed to ask her why. From there, you both can exchange thoughts to understand each other better. You'll understand her perspective, and she'll understand your financial situation or point of view at that time. This discussion can help both of you assess your compatibility. It's a win-win solution, right? 2. Keep it relaxed. To prevent your date from becoming awkward just because of splitting the bill, keep it relaxed. Don't overthink it, because that'll just make you feel insecure. Just say if you feel more comfortable paying separately for today's meal. And if you're confident, be honest about being low on cash or not having cash on you. Remember, honesty can relieve your burden. If you can convey this casually and you two really hit it off, she'll understand and might even laugh when she hears your honesty. Because nowadays, it's hard to find guys who are genuinely honest and not caught up in pride. That's really rare. Moreover, try to think in simple terms. If she feels bothered by having to pay for herself on the first date, it means you two have different perspectives on financial management. From there, you should realize that maybe you're not compatible from the start rather than regretting it later in the relationship. It'll be less complicated, right? 3. Last resort. Choose a place where you pay upfront. Now, if you're worried about hurting her feelings on the first date, try choosing a place where you pay up front, like a fast food joint or a food court. That way, you'll avoid any payment awkwardness. If she wants to eat noodles, you can suggest chicken or anything from a neighboring restaurant. The key is pay separately. It's a perfect solution, right? Okay, that's it for this video. Hope it's helpful for you guys.